Bunkin, yes, good to see you. BB, good to see you. Okay, so hello everybody, hello YouTube. Okay, all right, good. Okay, so can if you don't mind, yes, just make sure that you all get the slides first. Okay, same as YouTube as well. Make sure you get the slides. Okay, YouTube, I'm not so sure whether the internet is okay tonight. Usually YouTube get a bit wonky with the internet recently, so I just hope everything's okay. Okay, Floor, good evening to you. Okay, now let me get ready my slides as well. Okay, yes, okay, all right, good. Okay, looks good. Yes. No, Kate is not singing today. I can never sing on YouTube again unless it's a song that that is not on copyright, because YouTube is very funny. YouTube, the minute they detect that it is a song that has copyright, that means someone has sung before, YouTube actually block it. Yeah, block the video, and then I kena also trouble. So complicated, huh? So usually when I get Kate Lu to sing a song, it is usually on Facebook, okay, but it's not today. Yesterday I think she sang some songs, yeah, okay, yesterday she sang some songs on Facebook, yes. Okay, all right, good. Okay, give a huge blast of like, and tonight my topic is on, I have a new insight on when I think the inflation will end and when the stock market will rise. Now, this is a very, very gutsy prediction. So, I would really, I spend a lot of time. You can ask B, I spend hours on this thing, yes. Mr. Lu, can you brighten the room light? Cannot see your forehead glowing. Why you see my forehead glowing? Whether I have any more light here? I remember I have some light somewhere around. Okay, you have some light there, I don't know. Okay, yeah, anyway, I'll get B to help me on that. Okay, once you all get the slides, let me know. Yes, and remember guys on YouTube, please give a huge blast of like, okay? Yeah, all right, okay. Never mind, I can't. This is as bright as you can get, okay? B, I remember I have another phone somewhere around there. Okay. I think that's a bit too bright. Yeah, we're using a phone light, very getting blind. Yeah, forget it. Okay. Yes, if I give you 100 likes, yeah, the problem is that people come in without giving a like. The reason why I ask everybody to give a like, it's not because I'm emotionally insecure, okay, which probably is true, but more importantly is that your one like will help me to promote to 2%. So I really want more people to listen to this, not because I need it, okay. I kid you not, I really have a hell lot of fans outside YouTube. You may not know that, okay. Premium Mall has, I kid you not, 200 over fans. YouTube has only 14,000. But what I want to do is to let more people hear it. That's why I urging everybody. Okay. Thanks for like and share, Yvonne. Really appreciate this. Okay. And Yvonne Liu, I'm not so sure whether you got a like and share price from me before. You can email me at luchengchuan@gmail.com. Okay. Yes. Thank you. You're right, Henry. I think the earlier you give like, the faster you spread. That's true. So everybody, please support. Right. That's something. All right. Okay. Interest rate surpass HDB loan liao. Yes, I just got that news and I was about to talk about it in my next talk. But tonight talk is a little bit more scientific. It's fine. Okay, I don't need the shiny forehead. It's fine. Okay. Tonight talk is a little bit scientific, somewhat empirical, somewhat academic, somewhat chim. Okay. But most importantly, that I think this is quite June. Okay, this is quite June. And if everybody thinks that this is something that you benefit from it, yeah, I think so, right? So if you have downloaded the slides and you guys are ready, let me know. Just tell me ready. Thank you, Soblai. Soblai actually went over to the YouTube, give a like. Yeah, people went over from Facebook, YouTube, give a like. Guys, on YouTube, right? I really yes. Okay, cool. Okay, so tonight my talk, once you've downloaded the slides, let me know. Okay, and I'm ready to start. Okay, so leaning is ready. I don't see people. Okay. Yes. Hello, Angela. Good to see you. Yes. Gary, thank you as well. Yes. Gary, you can drop me a note on my email as well. Do change at gmail.com. Why my volume quite low? Can you all hear me? I really speaking on my top of my voice really. I suspect you might want to turn up your volume, EK. Yes, okay. Jean is ready. Okay, not many people ready. So once you're ready, okay, huge blast of light and I'm prepared to go. Yes. Here I have got a lot of people giving like and share. Here got nobody giving me like and share. I don't know why. All right, cool. Yes, Henry can hear me loud and clear. Any bucket bag? Can you go to Shop Plus One and see what's available there? Today, just what I know is today there are 2 puzzle bag from Premium Mall going in some substantial sale because they are from the outlet. Usually it's 3,700 plus. They are now selling for 2,900 plus. You just go to Shop Plus One. Can you ask whether Jermaine Shop Plus One is ready or LW Plus One is ready? Yeah. Great. Okay. But anyway, let's start, shall we? Okay, let's start. And I'll give you a lot more insight. I want to cater more time for Q&A today, okay? So if you're ready, I'm going to start. Yes. For those people who watch the YouTube video post the live stream, you need to know that I'm a live streamer. I'm not a YouTuber per se, okay? So when you watch it, you say, how come you take such a long time to talk? Why are you so draggy, whatsoever? Because we are interactive. If you don't want to watch during the live and grumble that why other people can cut their video into 10 minutes, or I've got to talk for 45 minutes because you missed a great show. Yeah, okay, right, cool, everybody. Yeah, ready. Okay, let's start, shall we? So the title of my talk today is predicting when the inflation will end and stock market will rise. This is my 181st talk. 181st talk. I just feel that as the number goes up, I feel older and older. So the more I look at my photos nowadays, I feel myself older and older. Okay, yes. So this usual disclaimer: this is not a stock market advice. This is not advice to tell you buy or sell. This is for education and entertainment. Okay, so all right. Okay, are you ready? Yes. So actually, the key question. Yeah, I'm soft on Facebook, clearer on YouTube. Okay, guys, those on Facebook, if you can't hear me, just migrate to YouTube, okay? YouTube will be loud and clear. Sometimes YouTube is better, sometimes Facebook is better. I have no freaking idea the two companies, how they sort it out. Mr. Lu, tonight again is a 4.5 million lucky draw. You always conduct talks on lucky draw day, and hopefully my talk will help you win a prize, okay? I kid you not, I've ever tell people that you should buy Toto, and I regret the statement, but I tell people buy Toto, someone will buy it and struck second prize and posted on my 165 Telegram group. My goodness. After that, I cannot slapped by maybe 1,000 people for promoting gambling. Ivy says it's very loud in Facebook. Okay, I don't quite understand. Okay, but anyway, let's go back. So this is the start of my talk. Listen carefully. How did this stock market crash come about? I talked until my face turned blue already. The stock market crash came about because there was a very high inflation. And the high inflation itself did not cause a stock market crash. But the high inflation caused a lot of hardship on people. So the Federal Reserve and all the central banks across the world were forced to increase their interest rate. And the high increased interest rate caused the cost of borrowing to go up and crashes the stock market. Okay, this one I must have said since January until now, until my face turned blue and black and green and color already. So everybody should know and be educated by now. Okay, if you know, then you click like. Okay, Thursday $8 million draw. Shall I digress and talk about Toto? If you're one, then click a like, okay? If you're the one, then I'll talk about Toto later, okay? Okay, is it the best time to go in S&P 500? It might be the best time to go into Toto. Okay, anyway, joking. Joking. Walao, a lot of people. Just now, this page, nobody want to give a like. Then I talk about Toto, only everybody give a like. Walao. Okay. I'll give you the statistical answer to Toto. Okay, listen carefully. The chances of striking, someone was asking me whether to buy Toto, and this is a statistical answer, buy Toto or 4D. My answer is both of them are equally low, near zero anyway. Okay, but some people like to buy hope, okay? They will buy no matter what I tell them, okay? Then the answer is between Toto and 4D. I didn't say you should do it, but if you have to gamble between Toto and 4D, the chances is almost zero, but the payout is phenomenally higher on Toto than 4D. So therefore, between the two, it's obvious which is the better gamble. Now, someone asked me this question, and after I said that, I think it was 1.5 years or 2 years ago, he actually went to buy Toto and struck second prize. Then after that, I kena stoned by everybody for telling people, encouraging people. No, I've never bought a single piece of Toto in my life. Okay, so I don't believe it. But I'm just giving you statistical analysis. Okay, entertainment. Remember my channel is entertainment. 我不是在叫你们赌博Okay, so anyway, hi. Okay, 1 to 1 million chance exactly. But sometimes buying hope, it's very difficult to quantify that, right? Funny, right? Okay, anyway, okay. Now, I was watching all the YouTube videos of the speech of Jerome Powell. Jerome Powell is the Federal Reserve Chairman, and very interestingly, okay, I began to sense something very interesting. If indeed we could analyze when the inflation will end or start to decline, we will know when the stock market will rise. I actually said that in my previous video, right? If you look at if you look at 1982, when Paul Volcker, the Federal Reserve Chairman then, what he did was that he whacked jialan, interest rate until 18%, 19%, make everybody, I cannot breathe already, the kind of situation. And then over time, the inflation start to fall and the stock market start to shoot up. So really, when should we ideally, if you have the foresight of God, okay, the point where the inflation start to turn is where the stock market will start to rise phenomenally. Okay, this one nobody's gonna argue with me. People are gonna argue with me the following: how do you know when inflation will fall? Okay, so the secret to understanding when the stock market will rise is basically the answer, okay, to when the inflation will fall. Do you all agree? Hit a like, okay, including people in YouTube. If I can predict when the inflation will fall, I basically can predict when the stock market will rise. Okay, but the problem is that predicting when the inflation will fall is damn difficult. Yeah, sibei difficult. Okay, so what do? Okay, this is where Mr. Lu has a new insight. Okay, this is where a new insight. I was looking at this graph, okay, and I watched what Jerome Powell say, and then further analyze what other people say. I realized that the inflation really started in October 2021. Okay, inflation started in October 2021. Can you see this? It was normal, it just jump, and then it keep going up, right? So it has this incredible jump since October 2021. Okay, so and then even myself is a culprit to this point. When too many factors cause inflation, what we did not know is which factor costs more. We know quantitative easing caused inflation, that means printing of money. We know KNN, this Putin started a war with Ukraine, and that really caused the oil prices to shoot up, and a lot of supply disruption that caused a lot of inflation as well. We know China zero COVID, as a result, they closed down a lot of supply chain, and as a result also caused that to happen, right? So these three reasons, which one is more? If I can figure out which one is more or which one really is the predominant one, then I will know whether the current Federal Reserve measures of increasing interest rate will help the inflation to go down, right? So I then analyze, because someone asked Jerome Powell this. Joe Biden, the president, blamed Putin that 75% of inflation is caused by Putin. Do you agree? And the senator was very smart. The senator says this: "Hello, uncle. When did Russia invaded Ukraine? Anybody? Good evening. Okay, Earth. When did Russia invade Ukraine? Well, the answer is February the 24th. Listen carefully, the dates you got to remember. February the 24th. When did the inflation start rising? My previous slide. When the inflation start rising, this bar, when it first jump, pay attention now, everybody. October 2021. So the inflation already rose quite significantly before the invasion. But someone said, yeah, only 6% only what? Then after invader go jump all to 8%. No. Look at the graph carefully. Look at the graph carefully. It was 6%. All the way to January was 7.5%. So now it's at 8.6%. Actually, post the war, the inflation only jumped 1.1%. Now, not say 1.1% is not serious, okay? 1.1% is serious. But really, that war only caused a 1.1% jump. I was like, oh, wow, what bo kwa dio, what a shame. I've been having the wrong perception. Actually, the inflation started way before that. And then Jerome Powell there, after a question by the senator, he said, yes, okay, the inflation started, even before that, right? Then the senator said, obviously it's from the other political party, I said, see, Joe Biden now, talk rubbish, right? Yeah, but of course, Joe Biden cannot say anything as he's president, okay? Now, I've always said the China COVID supply chain blockages, Shanghai lockdown, all this caused inflation is true. But let's see again, when did that lockdown happen, shall we? Take a look at that, Take a look at that, okay? So, sorry, this one slide very important, This came up, so someone said, Mr. Lu, ni luan jiang. Look at this. Jerome Powell says that war in Ukraine is not responsible for inflation. Yeah, okay, no inflation. Very interesting insight, very interesting. The next one, okay, is this, okay? The next one is, when did China lockdown started? When did China COVID lockdown started? Very interesting, okay? If we can figure out when this started, we will know how much of it is caused by China lockdown. And when is this? Yes, someone got it. EF got it, okay? Wikipedia, the Shanghai lockdown started in 1st of March 2022. 1st of March 2022. And again, right, go back to this graph. When did the inflation start? October 2021. And all the way to February, March, up to February is 7.9%. Okay? The China lockdown started in March, April. So actually the China lockdown, very little impact. Not say no, but very little impact. If you find this very interesting, please give a like, especially on YouTube, where you have 500 of you guys. Please, 186, give a like only, okay? Yes. So therefore, I got this, Keith, good to see you, okay? I was like, oh my goodness, I miss that full picture. Now I begin to see it. The inflation is so much. So how much, who caused out that three reasons? Who is the biggest culprit of inflation? Who's the biggest culprit? Okay, is it quantitative easing? Is it Russian war, or is it China lockdown? Okay, which one? Yeah, everybody got it. Okay, Uncle Sam, yes. Okay, QE was the one. Yes, QE was the one. So really, first of all, if you find this very interesting, I find it totally interesting. Once I can figure this out, wow, then I can figure out whether 我们有没有对症下药。对症下药，对症下药。How do you translate that in English? Means you are attributing the right medicine to the right sickness. I think my explanation quite bad. Someone can amorize it better than me. In economics textbook, and I hope some of you all took economics. Okay, some of you took economics during your A levels. Okay, in economics, inflation are caused by two possibilities. Number one, we call it demand pull inflation. The second one is called cost push inflation. Okay, pardon me for. Oh yeah, Andrew, you're right. You got to use the right antidote for the right sickness. Yeah, absolutely right. Thank you. There are two causes of inflation. Okay, number one is what we call demand pull inflation, whereby the demand curve shifts up and causes the price to go up. This side is quantitative easing. You give every print money like crazy, then as a result, the demand just go up. Every big loss of money, just give money like crazy, spitting of money like crazy. And not only that, the fiscal policy side, President Joe Biden has given out a lot of money. QE means quantitative easing, printing of money basically. So this side, okay, is one cause of inflation. The other side is a classic story of what we call supply shock. Okay, it's called a cost push inflation. The whole supply curve moved back, causing the price to go up. We have both impact. We have both impact in this in this inflation environment. We have both a demand pull and a cost push. Damn sway. Rarely you can all together. But life, right? How many of you have been swayed before in your life, right? It can be quite sway. This sway. So therefore, what we have is a question: which one do we kena more? Okay, sorry to use such a demand curve, but there's no better way. Which one we kena more? Did we kena more demand side, or did we kena more supply side? And the answer now is very clear, isn't it? Right? So which one did which was the stronger cause of inflation? You're right, demand. Okay, demand. Cedric, you are correct. Demand is the one that causes the entire inflation to go out of hand. And the best part of it is we know for sure now by looking hindsight, 2020, right? Okay, either bachu chimi, I cannot see properly, I got 老花眼 and got 近视. But it is very, very clear now in hindsight. It's never easy predicting forward, but it's always very clear on hindsight. Life is like that. And therefore, it's very clear to me right now that it is all about demand, right? And you're right, and we thought that it was all supply because the news were encouraging that blame it on Russia, blame it on China, blame everybody except yourself, right? Wow, wow, it's a very interesting phenomenon. Give me a minute, I get a drink, okay? Okay, so do you find it interesting? Okay, please give a like, okay? Now, then we might have, if this is true, if what I said is true, then we have the answer to whether the current measures are effective or not effective. Because in the 1970s, when there was the great inflation, it was damn jialat. The inflation, how long was the inflation? It was 1968 or something like that, all the way to 1982, 10 over years. I 10 over years, I'll be 60 plus already. I cannot live my next 10 years like that, like the 70s, right? But fortunately, in the 1960s to 70s, there were a lot of measures that were taken that were wrong by the policymakers in US. So they were doing price control, wage control, every control they can do except dealing the problem with. I give you another interesting insight. This one, please bear me because it's all about weight loss. And I'll draw an analogy. I'm not trying to be howling about that, okay? How many of you have this kind of experience before? You went for a holiday and then you eat a lot. After you eat a lot, you put on 1-2 kilograms. The next few days you work your ass out, run a lot, exercise a lot, cut down on your diet and things like that. In 1 week, the weight go back to normal. Have you ever this experience? Now, if you let that pui ba, that fats simmer and simmer and simmer, and let it last for a month, 2 months, 3 months, you know what your fats become? Your fat becomes cement. How many of you have this kind of experience? Click a like. Yeah, and the fats refuse to go away. It just become concrete, you just can't get it down. Why? You gotta run for months, and maybe even years to get it down. How many of you have this kind of experience? Inflation is like that. They have one word for it. Charlene, good to see you, okay? Inflation, there is one word for it. That's called, not become concrete, it's called entrenchment. What they are trying to avoid is you got to deal with it quickly, inflation, so that you don't make it entrenched. Now, what the hell is inflation entrenched? Let me tell you what's called inflation entrenched. I was asking my wife and a few entrepreneurs, fellow entrepreneurs, what the hell is, you see, I'm first a economist, then an entrepreneur, right? But I need to change sometimes. I need to switch back entrepreneur hat. So I asked a lot of fellow entrepreneurs, simi is inflation. Listen carefully, this is not inflation. Wow, the price of batang fish go up from $7 to $11. That's not called inflation. That's a one-off price jump. You all know what is called inflation, Inflation is defined by this month the batang fish, or the chai peng, the batang fish, the one that came on news. This month it jumped by $2. 2 months later it jumped by another $2. 2 months later it jumped by another $1. That's called inflation. That means it's a sustained price increase. You keep seeing price increase. When would that happen? We sell handbag, we see that. I sell other things, we see that as well, right? The handbag, which is a brand that increased 2 times? We see that in Fendi, 2 rounds of price increase, right? So the price increase just go up again and again and again and again and again. Yeah, you're right. Boy frog, AC, can die. This is called inflation. Okay. When will this Chanel? Yeah, right, man. Keep going up like crazy. Okay. When will inflation stop? Let me tell you this. Okay. So when will inflation turn entrenched? Is when I'm a worker, right? I see all prices now go up, right? I go to my boss, say, hey boss, no, I cannot tahan already. You better increase my salary. Then if not, I go somewhere else. The boss there increase their salary. Then your boss LL no choice, right? Give high increase. Now you have increase in salary, right? The wage increase. Then you go and buy a lot more. Then you go and buy more. Then the demand goes up. The demand goes up, price goes up some more, right? Then you go back to your boss and ask for another price increase. We call this the wage price spiral. It goes zung, 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 zung. Andy absolutely correct. It goes zung, 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 zung. See, yeah. This will be the... We are trying to avoid this thing right now. How did quantitative easing led to the great inflation, okay? So what really caused inflation, right? What really caused inflation? Okay, I'm going to read to you. So these news came out on March 23rd, 2020. Federal Reserve announces unlimited quantitative easing and set several new lending programs, okay? And I actually did some site. You can go to Wikipedia and check out the inflation, and this is a very, 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 very good analysis, okay? Economists at Deloitte noted that consumer spending on goods moved in tandem with spending on consumer prior to the COVID-19 recession. But upon emerging from COVID, okay, everybody rushed out to buy goods, especially in US. This places stress on supply chain and the supply of goods cannot meet demand, hence the price increase, right? So basically what happened was that suddenly 大解放, everybody now kena Omicron already, no scared go out. Wow, shopping you see bloody hell, in a whole world, everywhere long queue, remember? Just long queue, kiasi in Singapore, queue everywhere, shopping everywhere, like whole world, like everything cheap like that. Now it's happening in the tour, in the travel. Everywhere Singaporean queue are crazy. But it's not just Singapore, the whole world just go, wow, Sibei, just a hell of people. Hey, like YouTube, I so much energy into it, you all don't give me like, hey, 气死人. But what happened? Then the whole cannot tahan. So suddenly, jiba boom, the supply cannot catch up with demand. It will be worse when China reopens here, right? I tolong China don't reopen, China, please keep yourself locked down. Don't let go of your billions of people, 1 over billion people. 1 over billion people go out, walao, we die. We freaking die, man, right? The inflation will shoot to the roof, okay? So what really caused the inflation was that. Yes, was that. Yeah, okay? So this is my analysis, okay? If whole night you watch this, you got to watch this part very importantly, okay? If the inflation, I've got this written down, okay, but I'm going to read it out to you. If the inflation was caused by a cost push inflation, meaning that if indeed there was an oil shock that caused it, the supply chain blockages that caused it, China lockdown that caused it, then we increase interest rates to cut down on demand. Then not so effective. It was the supply side that's a problem. If there's a supply problem, you try to increase supply, not try to cut demand. Yeah. So if it's that kind of problem, it will take a long time for the price to go down, as what we have seen in 1980s. It did go down, but it was very, very painful. Freaking painful, man. Right. All right. So it was a very something. By the way, 700 of you all in YouTube. Now, I'm gonna give you like, please click follow and subscribe. Okay. So if that were the case for the cause of inflation, then that would be a long drawn inflation. Fortunately, this is a demand pull inflation. Demand pull inflation. Thank God. After I analyze all this is clearly a demand pull inflation, and we are exactly delivering the right blow at the problem, or giving the right antidote at the right problem. So, 对症下药. So right now, what the Federal Reserve and the central bank are doing is correct. Yes, okay. Yeah. So therefore, it is something very, very good. And you know what? What we need is the Federal Reserve and all the central bankers to have a strong resolve, say, Limpe will solve this inflation problem no matter what it takes, like this 黑帮老大 like that, I will know, who can I see, the kind of thing, right? Yeah, that's how it, and exactly that's what he says here. Okay, I dramatize it, but that's what he says, right? Jerome Powell, the Fed's Powell vowed to prevent inflation from being entrenched. Replace the word entrenched to become cement, concrete. Yes. So very interestingly, Powell has actually used the word, I cannot let it become concrete, become entrenched. It's like my puiba, if I eat it and expand, if I don't go exercise immediately, in 1 month it becomes cement and I die. Okay, and die. And the best part is, on top of cement, you grow some more. So how many of you have this kind of experience? But if you deal with it, immediately, this thing will be wiped out. Okay? So, my prediction is this. That the faster and more decisive the Federal Reserve will deal with inflation, the higher the chances it will control inflation. Okay? The faster the Federal Reserve deal with inflation, the higher chances this whole inflation will go down. And my opinion is that right now the Federal Reserve is delivering the right medicine. 7.5%. Actually, I'll be happy if the next round they whack 7.5%. Because between inflation and recession, which is worse? I told you already, inflation is much worse. Let's deal with inflation, the who can see, then we deal with recession, right? And so therefore, everybody now is saying, right, okay, really, we got to deal with, avoid a entrenched inflation, okay? We got to deal with an entrenched inflation, to avoid entrenched inflation at all costs. Interestingly, this is where, very interesting, there are good signs that are coming out already. Good signs that are coming out. Who want to hear the good signs? Good news are coming out, okay? I already saw them. If you want, I can announce them, but you must give me a like first, okay? There are about two pieces of very good news. Two pieces of very good news. The first very good news is this, okay? The oil shock that was caused by the invasion of Ukraine by Russia has came down tremendously, okay? Has came down tremendously. Yeah, I'll be happy to see 500 likes, okay? You see 500 likes, I can talk about some more money making stuff, okay? But here, the oil prices shot up like crazy, up to $120 for they call it the WTI futures, which is the crude oil measure, has came down by 20%, okay? So oil prices have came down quite a lot. Now it's not back to normal, but it has came down tremendously, okay? It's a very good sign. And why they say this thing has come down largely because there's an economic slowdown. The economic slowdown is real. The economic slowdown that we're experiencing is real. I'm looking at all the financial report, all the companies that I work with and all this, I see slowdown. It is real. For those people, how many of you, what? Okay. I've got people from Uganda saying hello. Okay. So the economic slowdown is real, and we all have to embrace economic slowdown. That economic slowdown is not necessarily bad. It simply means that the whole demand curve is shifting back. Because I see all these signs, therefore I know the quantitative tightening is working. What I fear is after it tighten and you still don't slow down, then we see then you got increase in interest rate. Now today the news came out, right? What is the fixed rate right now? 3%, right? Something like mortgage rate is 3%. The fixed rate is now 3%. Those who live in HDB, you'll be better off staying in borrowing money from HDB. Very rare do we see interest rate go up more than 2.5%. So, property demand across many countries is slowing. You're absolutely right. So, all these are real. They are all happening in a real, fast and furious way. And these are all good signs. We need to embrace this kind of recessionary news because it means that the demand is slowing down. The real cause of the inflation was a demand spike, and the increase in interest rate is meant to humble it, bring it down. Telling everybody, don't be so overwhelming and go buy cars, buy Tesla, go and travel like crazy, whatsoever. Hey, calm down. So it's working, okay? The second good sign, which I think maybe, we have this on-off thing, okay? This is very interesting, okay? The second good sign is this. Shanghai, since the first outbreak, has registered for the first time 0 COVID. They actually managed to wipe out COVID, okay? Now, may not be for long, but let's celebrate when they still can, okay? They actually managed to wipe it out. I give it, only China can manage to do that, okay? China may do that. Beijing to reopen school, Shanghai declare victory over COVID. So we do have some victories, and these are good news. Hao Cho said that this is the first time watching me live. Thank you, okay? Thank you. So it is very interesting to see these good signs. So there are two good signs. What are two good signs? The oil prices is coming down. Okay. Second is that all the China lockdowns are easing. Okay. So these are good signs. But how effective are these good signs, ladies and gentlemen? How is it good sign? Don't forget, will this even if this problem all go away, will the inflation go down substantially? Yes, no? Even if the war were to stop, even if China will be COVID free, will the inflation go down? No. Why? Because yes, you're right, 1.5% effective. You're absolutely right, Henry. It will go down only by that little bit. Yes, because bulk of it was caused by quantitative easing. Yes. Okay. So very interesting analysis whatsoever. So therefore, these are what I call supply side good news. So it does help, but only tampo to a small extent, right? So yes, so these are supply side relief. They are happening. It will help. It will let go of some good news, and ordinary investors will have a good feeling about it. But these are supply side good news, ladies and gentlemen. And we got to deal with the problem, which is a demand side problem. Fortunately, the demand side problem is already being dealt with. The solution is already being delivered and continuously being delivered. As a result, my belief, okay, I cannot be 100% right now, because these are all reading signs, okay, reading signs. My belief is that the current interest rate hikes will be effective in bringing down the inflation soon. Okay, I've already seen it. I've already seen the signs by reading all the reports. All the signs out there are leaning towards a slowdown. And because this is a demand pull inflation, when you bring back the demand, the inflation should have some curtailing effect, and really it will have a controlled inflation. Does it mean that a recession can be avoided? And yeah, the answer is hard to say. I think we might not be able to avoid a significant economic slowdown. Will it go to an extent of a recession? It's hard to say. I doubt it. Okay, the word recession has many meaning. Okay, recession technically is defined as 2 quarters, that means 6 months of negative GDP growth. But forget what is definition. If you know that all your business start going down, is recession already. Chances are in many sectors in Singapore and rest of the world, we are really in recession. Okay, you're right, no soft landing. But this is a good thing. I told you guys a few days ago, right? Recession, you got to embrace it. With recession comes opportunity. Yeah. So don't feel so bad when you have recession, Yeah. Okay. Recession, because recession means that the problem is being dealt with effectively. Yes. Sure work. I'm not sure. It's working. It's working. Yes. So yeah. So other countries like India, China can buy cheap oil from Russia. Why Singapore cannot? Petrol in Singapore so expensive. Well, actually, let me just digress a little bit. I just found that there are easy way of dealing with this petrol problem. Okay, we have a lot of taxes on petrol, right? Just relax some of those taxes. That's one way, right? In US, they are increasing price of that because ever since the whole country want to move towards green, so they impose a lot of taxes and restrictions on fossil fuel, and they stop coal and all this kind of thing. Guess what? So prices go up. The other set of problem that caused in US, that caused prices spiked up, was this. Because during Donald Trump time, he fight China, right? Whack a lot of trade restriction, increased tariffs and things like that. So a lot of imports from China, all prices go up. You want to solve inflation? Very simple. Remove some of these tariffs. So right now they are negotiating all this. Yeah, so all this, if you can do it, the inflation problem will be stemmed at least a cushion while the demand comes down. Okay. So if people have other questions, I'll answer your question later, but let me finish this one first. Okay. So therefore, my analysis is this. Listen carefully, okay? If you have not been paying attention the whole night, now's the time to pay attention. It's clear to me now, out of that three causes of inflation, which is the Russian-Ukraine war, the China COVID lockdown, and quantitative easing, which is the printing of money, it's very clear that the printing of money causes majority, 80-90% of all this problem. Right now, the supply side problem, which is China and Russia lockdown, has some relief. Not total, but some relief. Unfortunately, it's not enough because the majority of the problem was caused by quantitative easing. But quantitative easing right now is being dealt with and dealt with the hard way. We are seeing signs of it effective already. Because we are seeing signs of it effective, we should see the inflation coming down. The minute we see signs of it, the inflation coming down, we will see the stock market shooting up. Okay. Now I'm not saying definitively that all this, because a lot of things are fluid. Now, what is it fluid until cannot fluid? Okay, fluid until cannot fluid. But given, we call it in economics called ceteris paribus, which means that, barring all things constant, if nothing's changed and these were the cause of it in this different proportion, what the Federal Reserve is doing right now should be effective. Ever since I got Apple Watch, it's giving me also a funny sound. Okay, cool. I hope you find this analysis useful. I'll go into Q&A right now, but I hope you find it useful. Yeah, this insight took me a lot of research to confirm this. If it is, please give me a like, especially on YouTube. Click like, follow, subscribe, click the bell, whatsoever. Okay, let me answer some questions right now, shall we? Okay, we have got, I don't know, this must be around, we have got, wow, we've got 800 over people right now on YouTube. I want everybody give a like, man. Give everybody a like, okay? Okay, cool. Let me answer some questions, shall we? Mr. Lu, do you like McDonald's? As in eat McDonald's or McDonald's the share? Yes, okay. I don't eat McDonald's. It tastes terrible to me. If quantitative easing makes stock market go up, will quantitative tightening cause market crash? Yes, it's already happening right now. Okay. Yes, thank you. Everybody give Mr. Lu like yes. Okay. Totally agree with Mr. Lu. Thank you. Okay. Piranha. Oh shucks. Okay. I'm trying to read all the questions. Ooh. Okay. Thank you. Does it mean property and stock market coming down since demand dealt with? I've said it many times. The demand for property has two effects. Number one is mortgage. Okay, mortgage interest rate. Mortgage interest rate is going up, therefore demand will come down. But in an inflationary environment, people get scared now, want to hedge their investment into something tangible. They like to buy property. So between the two effects, one is negative under. Where is the trade-off? I don't know. But from history, they tend to go up in inflation. Should fire another shot S&P 500? I've been firing close to $100,000 every month in the stock market if you've been tracking, right? So this month I already fired 50K already. I just fired 50K. So I probably, this month I already fired 100K. I fired close to 100K already. So I'm going to move to next month and then find out. You got to be disciplined. No matter how good the environment or how space out, because this thing can be long lasting. Just space it out and buy. I'm not telling you should do it. I am spacing it out and buy, because this problem I don't think will resolve very quickly. Okay, but because I space it out and I buy, then I will get a full downside. Okay, will there be a chance that Q3 quarter inflation goes down, Q4 the inflation goes up again, and then Q4 inflation go up? Federal Reserve or Thailand? Hui Ki, you are right. This is very likely to happen because inflation is not so smooth. What I don't want to see, if I have my way, is suddenly, a bit of good sign only, the Federal Reserve, let's stop increasing interest rate. then this kind of thing will happen. So if you have the strong resolve, maintain it, tahan it for a while until inflation really control it, then let go. If not, it's got GC lah, 1, 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. We can deal with this inflation, inflation. Our stock market go last 6 months, your heart must be going like that, right? Yes. Okay. Will Jerome Powell speaking again on the next? When is Jerome Powell speaking again next hike? I don't think he usually will say something, but he usually give a guidance, and he's quite consistent. He's basically saying that 0.5%, unless we see something extraordinary, will be 0.75%. Anything outside the range is unlikely. Okay. I think foreign buying Singapore property using cash, so interest rate really affect them. Yeah, but I don't think it's just a Singapore. If it's only a Singapore problem, then HDB will not have gone up. But HDB went up like crazy, right? When do you think inflation will come under control? Another 6 months? It's hard to say. I think we will see the first sign soon. Okay, first sign soon, within 6 months, that we will see some inflation rate coming down. Okay. Singapore savings bond interest rate catching up with SA. You think it change? I think it's good to go after if the Singapore bond is going up. Yeah. Okay. China PR buying HDB. If the China PR is already here, they already bought already. They won't wait one. Okay. There's not that many Chinese PR. You think our Singapore so good that the Chinese want to come in? The Chinese want to go to US or go other country or so. Not that many people want to come to Singapore. Okay. Do you foresee a crypto run like a bank run? I don't foresee. I already seen. So it's already happened with Celsius. If there's no crypto run, Celsius don't need to block withdrawals. Okay. How frequent will Federal Reserve adjust the interest rate? Every quarter. If bank loan really hit 3%, how can I switch my bank loan to HDB loan? Is it possible? I'm not so sure about that. Does anybody know? I can ask. I'm not so sure we can switch from bank loan to HDB. I suspect that you cannot. Okay, I suspect you cannot. But I'm not entirely sure on that. Okay. You can't do that. You're right. Okay, I suspect you can't do that. Okay. Yes. No, cannot. Yes. So you can't do that. Yes. Okay. Next. Yes. Bank loan cannot switch back HDB. Yeah, absolutely right. Okay. What do you think will happen to Singapore property market? I said just now, very likely, it will kind of maintain it where it is. Okay. My thought is this, because there are two countering effects. Many who are PR are okay. Can't see. Okay. Can't switch. Okay. Yes. There are 3 more rate hikes. When to invest? I cannot tell what you should do, Vivian, but the textbook answer is at the first sign of a control of a price inflation is where we know that the quantitative tightening policy are effective. When it's effective means we're going to see inflation go away, but you will not be the only one buying at that point in time. Okay. All right. Okay, cannot switch. You're right. Okay. Next question, please. Okay. Some people have some CPF question. What do you think about monthly DCAing into S&P fund with CPF fund instead of lump sum? I think a textbook answer is yes. You should do that. Yes. Yes. Without HDB, no. Yes. Okay. What do you think? Okay. It's monthly, not quarterly. The Fed interest rate. Oh, is it? I thought it's quarterly. Okay, I believe it's quarterly. Okay, but I could be wrong. I will check it out. Okay, thanks for clarification. HDB to bank when not the other way. That one I know. Okay, that one I know. Okay, so next question, please. Yes. Okay. The best part is in a live stream like this, I can pull the wisdom of the crowd. 1,000 more people here. I can at least find out what is the answer to some of the questions I don't know. I wouldn't know everything on earth, right? Okay. So you all agree with my analysis? Okay, so far, you agree with my analysis? So I hope that this analysis is useful for you guys in understanding the current situation. I find really it wasn't me who figured this out. Okay, it was it was Jerome Powell who said, and I was like, oh wow, no, I never see that. Yes. Okay. Yes, good sharing. Good. Okay. Great. Okay. Yes. Thank you. For 30, okay. And then it's good for market. Okay, great. Okay. Yes. How to become a godson? For heaven's sake, I'm still young. Okay. Yes. You all can become, we can become friends here, right? Advisable to finish the home loan faster if cannot afford. My take is that this high interest rate environment most likely will not last for a long time. Okay, because it's very costly, ma. So over time, the whole high interest environment will come down. We just need to tahan for a while. Okay, please subscribe. Do you used to be a teacher? No, I wasn't. Never a teacher. Okay, I was never a teacher. Yes, I was never a teacher. There are some words that I use and some behavior I do during during session like this, that if I ever become a teacher, I'll get slapped by the principal. Okay, but my father was a primary school teacher. Okay, my father was a primary school teacher, and I have did some relief teaching in the school before. It was quite funny. Okay, if I have time, I'll tell you a joke. Okay, how long do you think this high interest rate environment will last? I don't think it will last very long. Once there is this inflation will be brought down, they will try to bring down the. Were I a banker? No, I wasn't a banker as well. Okay, but I'm an economist by training. Okay, why US want to QE where they know there will be inflation? Okay, because at that point in time, let's go back to history. It's a very good question that Jean asked. Why did we even do QE unlimited? That's because at that point in time was the worst economic and health crisis in the world called COVID. Everything was deflationary. That means prices were dropping. So they dare to print. What they should have done is to tarik back. But they didn't tarik back. Right? Yao Siu them, man. So as a result, what happened? Then this thing just go on. Of course, hindsight is perfect sight lah. If you ask me Federal Reserve, I also don't know when to stop. Right? So, jalat. Okay? Get slapped by principal and get hugs from the students. I tell you one joke before I tell you one joke about primary school teacher. Yes. So I had two jokes. It was quite funny because I was there was once I was in a primary school. My father was asked me to go and do some relief teaching. So and the young kids are noisy like shit. It's very difficult to control them. I was freaking fed up. I feel like using some Hokkien vulgarity, but I couldn't. So then everybody shouted out. Then the next door was noisy. So I I need to control, teach lesson about this primary school, simple ABCD kind of thing, but noisy as shit. I went next door. I see where the hell no teacher. I said, everybody keep quiet, shut up. Guess what? The teacher was kneeling down, picking up things, then he stood up. So I was so paiseh, man. I said, oh, sorry. I thought there no. Voila, so paiseh. I tell you, So that was a trauma in my life. Okay, teaching primary school kids damn jalat. All right. Okay. Yes. Okay. So, yes. Okay. So that was a big trauma in my life. Okay, about primary school. Okay, never will I do it again. Yes. Okay. If oil tax decrease, won't demand increase and counter effect? Yes, it will. Yes, it will. So I'm trying to avoid that. No, we should. It won't happen anyway. They won't reduce the taxes. Okay, Mr. Lu, you are S&P 500 fan. How would you avoid dividend holding tax? You can't. So you could buy the one that are domiciled in Ireland rather than domiciled in US. I think the dividend tax. So my point is this. S&P 500 dividend very low. So the amount of tax you pay is very low. So don't bother. Yes. Okay. Cool. Okay. I hope you find this useful. And thanks for joining me. Okay. I'll answer one last question by Gary. If the home interest loan rate increase insanely high and the mortgage default in Singapore increase, will the regulator step in? Very seldom you see this kind of situation happening. You know why? Because Singapore government super mother hen. Before the kids could trip and fall, they want to catch them and sayang them. Voila, I save you already. How will the kids ever learn? I talked about this a few days ago, right? Sometimes our government too mother hen, too nice, too good. As a result, our young generation now all strawberry generation, all entitled generation. Sometimes my young junior staff feel like slapping them for their attitude. You all have this kind of feeling, you know. They should wake up. Our generation and the previous generation, we work so hard. Now a little bit of Sorry, I'm a bit 激动 when I talk about this topic, right? My kids grill them taro them until they all grow up. Yeah, whoever agree with me that our younger generation workers right now have this entitled attitude, say agree. Yes. 气死我 talk about this 我要咳嗽 yes okay yes yeah yes okay how to work for me okay when my companies have a job opening wake up idea yeah wake up idea agree everybody agree yes okay agree right yes yeah same here slap them right feel like slapping them seriously feel like slapping them yeah keep complaining about small issues you're absolutely right beta you see everybody agree I beta this thing beta tofu generation you're absolutely right man okay I really accept Kate Lou 6 months take her out of school go grill with me in Europe work like shit taro her left right center now very tough I'm very happy that she's toughened right now can survive on her own right and I'm gonna do that to Emily and Benjamin as well. Okay, at least Benjamin went through army. The girl need to go through this. I don't want my kids to grow up strawberry generation also. Betahan, betan. Okay, so much for grumbling. Yes. Okay, Mr. Lu, open job opening, full-time slapper. I go to jail for that. Okay, all right, good. Okay, yes, good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It was a great night. I hope you find this analysis useful for you guys and those in Premium Mall. Word from our sponsor of this channel is go to Premium Mall Shopee page and take a look at some of the wonderful stuff they post up today. All right, cool. Okay, with this, thank you everybody. Thank you for joining me. Okay, and we'll see you next time. Okay, thank you. All right, good. Okay, so thank you. Okay, but tonight lots of people are listening to this. Yeah. Take back army and tekan the recruit, you feel shook. Yes. But nowadays army I now see what Ben go through a lot more comfortable. Cannot do more than 20 push-up, you know. Cannot use you cannot scold the people too much also. Yeah. Okay. So Lai, thank you. Christy, thank you. Failing, thank you. Okay. BB, thank you. Yes, Michelle, thank you. Yes, Andre and WS, thank you. Jackie, thank you. Good night. Okay. Angela, good night to you. Angela, I always remember your bag. Not say no. The shipment, I think is Angela the executed. Angela shipment left. I mean leaving now or left. I don't know. Okay, but I 记住 Okay. Sometimes I messed up people's my Facebook guys admin their chat so they hate me interfering. But anyway. Yes, okay, strawberry army, you're right. Okay, you toughen and taro them. Yes, jalat. Okay, you sound like one officer. I used to be a captain. Okay, in infantry company. Yes, and I was very tough on my people, tough on myself also. Thank you, Ida. Yes, thank you, Angela. Okay, yes, Michael, thank you, and thank you. Yes, okay, Eddie, thank you. Joyce, thank you. Okay, Ian, thank you. Okay. Girls go army. Oh, nowadays they coexist together. The boys and the girls go to army together. My son in OCS has a women cadet in the same platoon. That's very that's very unusual to me, right? Last time there was one company and the other one company, so I find it very entertaining to hear some of these stories, right? So let's say they want to go to the toilet, right, in the jungle, right? The boys got to escort the girl there. Then the girl walk in and the boys got to turn their head and walk away, right? Then after the ladies done the business, then escort them back. Teach them how to be gentlemen. That I like. Okay. Can you do a topic on how to motivate, discipline, and toughen kids? Give them 2 tight slap. Oh no. Okay. Anyway, just joking. Okay. I'm not so sure. I mean, I'm the best role model for that. I'm happy to share what my experience is. Yes. Yes, the ladies are all regulars. Yes, you're right. Okay. Yes, it would be very interesting working for you. Okay. You may not really want to work for me. I'm a monster in the work. Okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. Great. Okay. Good. Okay. Thank you. It's wow. It's almost 12. Okay. So have a good night, everybody. Today, would you sleep with gloves or bare hands? No lah. I talk only. Last time in army. My time in army. We could manhandle stuff. Manhandle. That was 30 over years ago. You know when the man didn't do the thing well, just come, take his rifle with that, bang onto his helmet. They can't. We don't really hit the person. Bang, and I'm sure you're gonna fall from your war officer, your sergeant, right? They always like hit your helmet. Bang. Nowadays you do that, go charge detention barracks. So do you beat your kids? Of course. Was so good in my cane. Okay, but my kids are smart. They always find the cane and find a way to throw it away. Okay, so my cane always disappear, and they know I don't like use the hand and beat them, so they always throw away the cane. And there's this cat and mouse thing, right? I'll be happy to share with you. Get Kid Lou to come in and Ben to come in and Emily come in whenever have a chance. They will teach the kids how to avoid, and I'll teach the parents how to catch. Okay, new on durian in early generation. Okay, yes, but durian now very cheap. Okay, when will I sell? You assume that you say sell stops, right? Okay, I'll share that another time. Okay, this time we say goodbye. Does BE cane? Of course, man. When BE cane, painful, right? Wow, BE cane jialat. I'm the one that is a bit like, BE cane 下了去. Wow, jialat.
Cane 10 times, I cane 1 time.
Yeah, I cane 10 times, piak. Wow, she just whoosh. Wow, that's it. Okay, anyway, we shouldn't be too proud about this, okay? Okay, see, Mr. Oh, and that's the best part. She looked like a very gentle mother. Looks can be deceiving, man. Okay? Yes, looks can be deceiving. I will be very happy to share one of these sessions, okay, another time. Yes, agree, caning must be done. When we're in US, we stay in US for a little while, we are not allowed to cane the kids. So at that point of time, when you need to cane, we pull all the curtains, close all the door, make sure nothing, right? Then we use the spatula, is it? We use the cooking spatula and piak the kids, okay? Both of you met in Kung Fu school. No lah, if I tell you a kid, B is a Taekwondo black tip. That means one more step from black belt. I go to pa him, I sure lose one. And I did beat him and I always lose. Yes. If you're a good cop, she's bad cop. We always rotate our role. Okay, rotate our role. You know technique. At what age do you stop caning kids? Must stop. No lah. Once you reach upper primary, you gotta stop that already. Right? Then now at every stage I start caning my kid when kid was the first one. 1 year old I piak already. Okay. When will I sell? I'll share with that another time. But generally speaking, I don't sell until much later. Near retirement. It looks like a lot of people like the caning part now. Twist the ears. I don't like twisting the ears because I think it damages the ear. I like to. I not like is wrong, but if I have to cane, I just hurt the skin, not the body. Okay. Yes. Okay, happy fun. Spare the rod, spoil the child. I do believe in that. Okay, I do believe in that. My friend got reported to police by neighbors when she beat her son in Australia. In US, they beat your kid, they will take away the parents, the kid away from the parents. You lose custody of a kid. Is that serious?
In school.
Huh?
They teach that in school.
And they teach the children, if your parents beat you, you report will save you from your parents. So every kid every kid knows that. Yeah. So anyway, those are years. Maybe Mrs. Lu is my student. I top dan black belt instructor. No lah.
My instructor is called Simon Lee.
But your instructor must be 70 years old now, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, or 60 years old now. 70, 60 years old. Okay,
70,
maybe.
70.
Okay, 70 years old now, right? Easily, yeah. Can share how to do cane selection. That's funny.
Go provision shop, buy 5 at one go.
Yeah. You're right, 1 year old, so little bit liao heart pain. I cannot, when I first cane Kate Lu, everybody cry, not just the kid. The kid cry, of course, pain. The mother cry, the grandfather tearful, the grandmother tearful,
The maid.
the maid also tearful. Everybody cry, you know. Walao eh, yeah. Okay, COVID that time Kane sold out. That's so funny. I would imagine Kane was sold out. Hi, I should have I should have imported more Canes. Okay, at that point of time. Or I go and make Canes. Okay, the finer the better. All right, cool. All right. Okay. Anyway, we do have enjoyable time talking to each other. Okay. So for those people who watch this video post, remember this is a live session. That's why we're interactive. We were talking and chit chatting and gossiping. Okay, and we enjoy. Yeah, we enjoy all this time. Oh, really? Cannot find Kim. That's very interesting. Okay. We'll see everyone. In 1 or 2 days time. Okay. Cool. Okay. All right, good night. Okay, good night, everybody. Really good night, everybody. Okay, I shall end the video now. Okay, end the video now. Good night, YouTube. Remember, give a like. Okay,